We're gonna give her 15 seconds on a stopwatch. Every time she blinks is $1,000.
Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, has taken the YouTube world by storm with his wacky antics, over-the-top splurges, and bouts of extreme charity work. Some people love him, other people want to be like him, and of course there are still those who hate his guts. But regardless of whether or not you're a Mr. Beast fanatic, you better watch this video to find out who this guy really is. Is he just faking his way to the top, or is he really that generous? Well, today we are going to be taking a look at what Mr. Beast is like in real life. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We are giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. To start off, did you know that Mr. Beast only lasted 2 weeks in college? That's right. Jimmy Donaldson attended college after graduating from the Greenville Christian Academy back in 2016. However, Donaldson admitted that he dropped out of higher education because he really wanted to pursue a career as a YouTube content creator. He told his mom that he'd rather starve as a YouTuber than become rich doing what he did not love. So he got kicked out of the nest at age 18. That proves two things. Mr. Beast really loved the platform, and he was stubborn enough to give up something that is relatively safer, aka college, to risk it all for his dream. But the thing is, Mr. Beast's YouTube career was not a success story right from the get-go. You would think that Mr. Beast had it all figured out by the time he decided to drop out of college, but no. He spent a few years trying and failing to make a name for himself as a content creator. In an earlier YouTube video, Jimmy Donaldson confessed to already being depressed about all the pressure of creating content that people would want and love. He only struck gold after thinking of uploading a video of himself counting to 100,000, and subsequently following this up with a 200,000 countdown in 2017. Then he continued on and became the most popular YouTube philanthropist. Through his days of depressive tendencies due to low traffic for his channel, Mr. Beast couldn't really seem to shake the feeling that one day he'd lose it all. To compensate for this, he became a perfectionist who always sought feedback for his videos, despite his uploads already getting millions of views in just a few days. From time to time, Mr. Beast still tweets things like, "Hit me with the things you think I could do better in my videos. I want to always improve." Aside from being a perfectionist, it is clear that Mr. Beast is a Black Lives Matter supporter. How so? Well, at first, he kept drawing flack for not really raising a finger to end police brutality and racial discrimination in America, whereas he raised so much for other causes, which we will tackle later on. He commented to one person on Twitter who criticized him about it and said that for sure he will donate to the cause. He just wasn't sure where to put his money for the cause. Mr. Beast wasn't all talk, because just a couple days after that comment, he announced that he was willing to allot $150,000 for the Black Lives Matter movement, and that he would split the donation in 3 ways. First, he planned to give out 50 grand to an organization that supports the fight for racial equality. Mr. Beast wrote, "This needs to stop. America is too good for this crap." Then, he decided to give away $10,000 each to 5 small business owners who were affected by the issue. He committed to reserving the amount to those who did not have insurance or those who genuinely needed the funds. And last but not least, he said he would give another 50 grand to an organization that fights for police reform. Sounds like a good plan, am I right? One personal thing you might not know about Mr. Beast is that he suffers from something called Crohn's disease. Although it's pretty mild and can be controlled by a proper diet. Crohn's is a chronic inflammatory bowel disease that can cause weight loss, fatigue, abdominal pain, and severe diarrhea. He admitted to this in one video, but some awareness advocates for Crohn's actually criticized Jimmy for his lack of knowledge on the disease. They believe Mr. Beast should study more about the disorder so he can better educate people about it. He has enough of an audience to really raise awareness about the disease, so advocates hope he does this well. Next, did you know that Mr. Beast is a certified lover boy? That's true. He's been dating another YouTuber named Maddie Spadell for more than a year now. Mr. Beast first confirmed the info back in June 2019, where he shared an Instagram post showing a photo of him and a mystery girl. Ever since then, the two have been inseparable. Next up, Mr. Beast lives for strategy games. You probably know that YouTubers stay up until the wee hours of the night just to brainstorm and create new content. But half the time when Mr. Beast is up late, he's not even thinking about YouTube. Instead, he's focused on winning strategy games against his friends. Sometimes their games last for a total of 13 hours. That's total geek behavior, no less. But Mr. Beast is actually trying not to waste so much of his precious time on playing games. In fact, he's repeatedly asked his Twitter followers to remind him to get some sleep every now and then because strategy games literally act like a drug to him. Next, Mr. Beast is actively trying to be a minimalist. It's difficult to imagine someone with Mr. Beast's wealth and fortune as a minimalist because, let's face it, most of us would be drowning in luxurious stuff if we were that rich. But Mr. Beast is just not living like the rest of us. A few months back, he actually got rid of his gaming computer and basically everything in his house that does not help him make new YouTube content. He says it's the best decision he's ever made. He said he's also planning to downgrade his car and get rid of even more stuff that he acquired earlier on in his life. Mr. Beast says he's really trying to veer away from living a materialistic life because, honestly, he just wants to make videos all day long. Next up, Mr. Beast is wildly supportive of other content creators. For this specific YouTuber, content creation is no competition. Even though he has his own main channel and several smaller channels to manage, he has always found the time to support other content creators. He has donated money to Shroud and also laid his hat on the whole T-Series versus PewDiePie ordeal when he shelled out some of his own money to support Pewdie's channel. He is also constantly urging his followers to follow and subscribe to new content creators on YouTube. Isn't that nice? Now, if only he could be as nice to people who are not strangers. That brings us to our next topic, how Mr. Beast is reportedly very rude to people who have worked with him. In fact, his former editor has smeared quite a substantial stain on his once pristine reputation. Editor Matt Turner posted a series of tweets accusing Mr. Beast of bullying and being a terrible boss. He claims that the YouTube sensation thrashed him for simple mistakes and refused to give him credit for his works. He said, and I quote, "After every editing mistake I made, I was made to feel like an absolute idiot, even if the content wasn't real. No credit was given, except when videos I edited got credited to someone else." However, Turner also admitted that Mr. Beast was generous enough to pay for the apartment he lived in while he worked for the YouTuber. So you can say that karmically, it all evens out, right? But what about Mr. Beast's homophobic tendencies? That's right. Next is that YouTube's biggest philanthropist has a dark history of using LGBT slurs and offensive jokes. He has made a lot of homophobic jokes on his older YouTube videos and has this nasty habit of calling people fags on Twitter. Jimmy also uses the word gay when he's trying to diss something, like the time he called Windows gay because he grew frustrated with the operating system. He also responds to haters by calling them fags. Not only that, but he has refused to apologize for these comments. He insists that he's not offensive toward anyone because he doesn't think anyone cares about him saying stuff like that. But recently, Mr. Beast deleted all of his previous tweets that had the word fag in it. That's a good call and shows that Mr. Beast knows how to listen to criticism despite not apologizing for past mistakes. Next, Mr. Beast has also faced accusations that he gave away fake money. Back in November, the YouTuber opened a free bank and gave out cash to people who needed loans, without any requirement to pay him back. Although he did make 2 grown women cry because of such a gesture, critics noticed that the money he handed out in this video read motion picture instead of the United States of America, which appears on legal tender. This time, instead of denying the accusations, Mr. Beast admitted that of course he gave away fake money because it's risky and unsafe for him to actually give out thousands of dollars in one location. Those poor beneficiaries could be held up or taken advantage of, and their money could be gone just like that. Instead, Mr. Beast said he handed them play money for the cameras, then replaced those with actual checks once they were done filming the content. Makes a lot of sense, right? Finally, Mr. Beast may be a clout chaser, but at least he's putting all that money and energy into helping not just individuals, but the entire planet in general. In October, he launched a campaign to raise enough money to plant 20 million trees. This is to honor his milestone of reaching 20 million subscribers on YouTube. And with help from people like Elon Musk, PewDiePie, and Jeffree Star, Mr. Beast hit his $20 million target in under 2 months. Thus, #TeamTrees made good of its promise to fill the world with brand new trees for posterity's sake. And that's what Mr. Beast is like in real life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.